upstairs to get a closer look. Tonight, on this cold and blustery winter's evening, there was only one face Daisy wanted to see through the windscreen of his car. She had been sure he would come, or at least ring once he read the carefully composed email and duplicate text. Each word agonized over, deleted, then retyped. She had even sent a message via Facebook, restoring her dormant account before quickly logging out, unwilling to look on images from the past or acknowledge attempts at contact from old friends. Anything had been worth a try. Daisy knew she hadn't been deleted or completely blocked by him, and that in itself was a symbol of hope she could and would cling to. After rereading the message, Daisy worried it was too short. Maybe she should have composed an essay, told him everything in words, because Lord knows it would have been easier. But then again, she knew him too well, and the mood he was in. He would likely delete it. So the best way to get through was face-to-face, in the flesh. It always had been. Daisy had no idea where he was currently living, or working, or anything about him really. A seemingly insurmountable problem made solvable by technology. His disappearance had been expected. Or was it running away? The notion that he may have been driven to this excess had caused her great distress, and tempered only by the knowledge that no matter where he was in the world, he still knew his way here, to France. Ever since she'd pressed the send button, unless otherwise occupied, Daisy was resolved to sitting right there in her armchair, waiting for as long as it took, religiously checking her inbox and watching for headlights to appear at the top of the drive. She could just about see the ranch-style gates, which were closed but not locked, she had made sure. It was out of season and the pitches and rental caravans stood empty, so apart from a few guests over the Christmas period, those hardy travellers who used the site as a halfway house en route to Spain, Daisy knew it was unlikely that they'd have visitors, especially this late at night. Yet still, she persevered. Pam, Daisy's mother, said she was being foolish and couldn't just will him to appear, and she would only make herself ill, going back to her obsessive ways and trawling over the past. And anyway, staring into the darkness made her look a bit deranged. If anyone looked up, they'd think a mad person lived there. The creepy woman in the window, like in a horror film. She had been slightly relenting when she came in earlier, bearing a tray laden with sandwiches and cake, a thermos tucked under her arm, and a gentler tone in her voice. As Pam bustled about the room, feeling the radiator to check it was warm, she once again reminded Daisy that all this moping wasn't healthy, especially in her condition, and it could be days or months before she got a reply, if one came at all. Daisy tolerated her mum's fussing, especially when she had been forgiving of his behaviour, but it had taken a while, and only because of how much he was hurting was he so angry and heartbreakingly sad. They all were. So, until he was ready to talk, and only then would it be on his terms, Pam advised it was better that Daisy put him out of her mind. There were more important things to focus on. She knew her mum was only trying to soften the blow and toughen her up all at once, but it hadn't worked, although she was right about one thing. As his personality dictated, he would be alone, festering, overthinking, maybe in some back-of-beyond place with a rubbish phone signal or purposefully out of reach, a virtual do not disturb sign hovering overhead. Ignoring her plea and determined to make her suffer, Daisy just wanted a chance to explain, which he had denied her at the first asking, and now she berated herself over and over again for leaving it so long. Yes, she had been a coward, but who wouldn't be after being utterly scolded by harsh and cruel words? His rage had prevented her from speaking out, numbed by shock, rendered weak and confused, before being consumed by grief and loss. Now, time was running out, and it was so important that she told him everything, and eased the hurt that a secret and two promises, one made to her soulmate